Welcome to my channel Avid Retro. Please like and subscribe and I will do some more videos for you in the future. Now this will be added to the video playlist, which also features VHS machines and DVD recorders and some Blu-ray players. So if you'd like to check out the videos in that list, then please do so. This is a video that's probably not quite retro enough for the channel, but I thought it'll probably age okay because these things are probably kind of dying out now, in that people are preferring to do streaming and watching content from Netflix, Amazon Prime, Paramount, etc, etc. In front of me I've got two broken 4K Blu-ray players. Now these are very kind of basic Blu-ray players created by Panasonic, probably under license, like using their name, because when you look inside, there's really not very much to them, and not really much that kind of shouts out Panasonic really. So they just have their name on these, I think. What you're seeing here is two very similar models. The base one is the top one, that's the UB150, and the one underneath is a UB159. And the only difference with the one on the bottom is in the audio part. So there is an actual audio out HDMI, an extra socket on the back, and I believe it should also have a coaxial out as well. So just describing how I got these players. The first one I picked up, well, they were around the same price actually, so £20 each, but this one I picked up first, and this was actually listed as not working at all. So unfortunately it was true. I tried to power it on, did some fault finding as far as I could on the actual board, and unfortunately yeah, the UB150 was totally dead, unusable. But the positive for me was that it did come with a remote and also a dedicated power supply. So just show you what that looks like. Ignore all the other stuff I've got plugged in here, but this is the dedicated power supply. That was quite useful because I saw this bottom one for the same kind of money advertised as non-working, and this one didn't come with anything. But when I asked the question of whether or not it worked at all, I got a reply back from the seller saying that it just doesn't read discs. So my simple mind kind of thought, okay, can I make at least one good player out of these? They should share common drives, so hopefully I should be able to take, this is my plan anyway, the drive from the 150 and put it into the 159. Looking at the housing of these players, the 150 seems to be quite marked on this kind of front panel, but the back panel not too bad. So I'll remove that out of view in a minute. Now this one just seems, this is the bottom one, the 159, which does power up. It just seems to have lots of kind of dents in there, which is strange. I don't know how they arrive there like that. There's no kind of paint scratches or anything, so it'll be interesting when I take this apart really to see if it's dented from kind of like the inside as such. But as you can see, this bit on the front probably a little bit better, less marked. So let's put that one round, and yeah, you can see the extra on the back of this one. You've got the extra HDMI there, which is marked audio out, and you've got coaxial. So date wise, the top one was September 2019, and the bottom one, the 159, was 2021. So that's slightly newer, but very standard kind of design here. It's got that nice made in China there, but designed obviously by Panasonic, but probably with help of a third party. And when I say that, you'll kind of see that when I take these apart. So let's move that one out of the way because I've already taken that one apart. Now I thought it's probably a worthwhile exercise, me just checking that the power supply is outputting the right voltage. Let's see if this powers up at all. I don't have a 4K screen downstairs, so I'm just outputting to a monitor, which will just be 1080p, but that's good, isn't it? So this control, which was for the other model, does work. So the 150 does work on the 159, and videos, it's just asking for disk. Okay, it's a nice clean system actually, nice clean menu system on these Panasonics. I'll just show you what it's like. I've actually already got a 4K player which I picked up not too long ago, and that's the not quite the flagship, but it's the 820, and that one I prefer probably to these budget ones because it's nice to have an extra display on the front of them. So what I'll show you is on these budget ones, you've just got a light to show that it's on and no display with any track information or anything like that. So they're a little bit on the basic side, but they're perfectly adequate for a bedroom, say, with a standard kind of full case set. So that's quite good. Something else probably worth mentioning, I did print out some information about the differences between some of these basic models. So the 150 and the 154 were seen as the kind of base models, and the only real difference, as I mentioned, is to do with the twin HDMI and the digital audio output, the coaxial output. So that was the main difference between this 159 and the 150, 154. Now if you go up slightly, then you do get a model called the UB150, and that actually supports Dolby Vision, which these ones a little bit further down the chain don't support. So that is like enhanced kind of HDR screen sort of, not setting, but dynamic range essentially. But anyway, enough of that. Let's try a disc in here, I think. Okay, so standard DVD to start with, because sometimes you find that players will play one format and not the other. So it's saying it's reading it. It's got that laboured sound to it. And these drives are obviously working quite fast, or they can work fast. I mean, I was amazed actually on the 820 how quick the player is at loading up Blu-rays, standard DVDs, ultra fast, you know, and sort of getting into the menu systems and then playing the movie. It's all very kind of rapid, which is a great improvement on older players. Right, let's try a standard Blu-ray. I'm not going to put in one of my 4Ks just yet until we're happy. So let's just see if anything's playing. This is a standard Blu-ray. And again, it's kind of reading. Not doing much else. So this definitely has to come apart, and I need to inspect the drive and its connectors at least. Before I show you the 159, this is the inside of the 150. No fan in here, so all I can suggest is this one probably did get hot, and with this sink here, maybe it wasn't enough. Maybe someone had it stored away, didn't ventilate very well around it, so that's why this board just seems to be totally dead. I did try to bridge and kind of miss a fuse just kind of around the power supply side, but when I did test that before I made the bridge, the fuse was fine, it seemed fine. So yeah, just a very basic check there. So power was getting to the board, but just not starting. So all of these kind of small components and chips and things are totally beyond what I'm able to fix and investigate myself. So obviously this board is a throwaway. I'm hoping the drive I can take out of this, and also the actual black cover as well, because that looks pretty good on this one. So let's move that one out of the way. And time to tackle this one. So there's no screws on the side. There's a minimal amount of ventilation there, like holes in there. I wonder if it's worth drilling more holes out in the side there. There's a few holes in the back, but not a huge amount, so let's just get on and do these screws. It's bizarre why that's all mottled like that. Could it have water damage to this? Water spillage? Looks a bit suspect, doesn't it? It's definitely been taken apart though. It's always a risk with these eBay purchases, because you really don't know what someone else has done beforehand. Can you see here? The connector doesn't look quite true there. It looks like it's slightly tugged. And the same with this one here. Looks a little bit truer there. Okay, that's power on. So I'm just going to eject. So that's not made any difference. I thought it might have been slightly misaligned. I wonder if any of these go into connectors under the board that might have got misaligned. Anyway, I'm going to have to take this out, aren't I? Take it apart. Actually, let's eject it again. Well, I've just taken the front off there. I'm just going to power it down. That's just grease that's kind of found its way along. So this would have been all greased, and then it's obviously showing it all collected at one end. This is all based on this position, I suppose. It doesn't smell like it's had smoke or anything. It's got some adjustments here for the laser power. There's a CD, DV and Blu-ray adjusters on there. I won't touch those though. It's obviously had a little bit of dust, hasn't it? I'm not going to use any cleaning fluid on this. I won't take this apart yet. It's got the same number here. Connectors look okay. This has been unplugged a couple of times before. No idea, obviously, if this one is going to work or not. At the moment, it's got a bit of damage here as well to the cable. Hoping I can correct that. Right, moment of truth. Hey, this drive looks good. It's loaded up a DVD. Will it load up a Blu-ray? Well, I wasn't sure if I was expecting that result, and the reason why I say that is because a lot of these drives are coded. They sometimes have PCB boards, other control boards and things mounted inside them, and sometimes the manufacturers will basically code those drives to the firmware in the PCBs. Oh, excellent. It's now loaded a Blu-ray disc. So not a 4K, but a Blu-ray. And can I just play it? Let's try. Quite a noisy little thing. Wow, well pleased with this. So that's a Blu-ray player for £40 then, a 4K Blu-ray player. Well, I say that, but I need to go and get a 4K disc, don't I, to try out. Here is a 4K disc. Well, there's two here. There's the 4K there and the Blu-ray there. So let's try. Let's try that one. Spin a lot faster. Excellent. Good stuff. Another thing I don't like on these little players is the size of the remote. It's a bit of a joke really, but it's working, isn't it? So I have now another working 4K player. And the good thing about this one is it's better than the 150, which I bought initially to try to fix, because it's got the extra audio outputs on as well. And what I might do is think about drilling some holes in the case, and to also maybe put a heat sink on these two. It's definitely something to think about, isn't it? Or maybe even adding a fan to the case. That's another project though, isn't it? Adding a fan. So all I've got to do now is reassemble this. And probably best to keep this on top of a TV unit rather than inside of one, just because of the heating issues. I wouldn't want that board to fry, because it seems to be working fine. So let's get the case back on. Because the connector on this one is a little bit iffy on one side, I figured it's worth just doing that. Now, because this is dead, shall I get some heat to this side? Get that heat sink out. I don't know why they didn't use a bigger one. I suppose these must be the main chips. That wasn't too bad, was it? What have we got? We've got a need for stronger glasses, that's what we've got. Yeah, so why these ICs don't have the heatsink on those? This is the main chip anyway. Underneath that pad. What's it say? MediaTek ARM. It looks like a MT8581 BDA. And these four are all very similar. So I'm going to put that heatsink along these two on the other board. But you can see it's all mounted anyway. just need to put that on. I just need to clip it on properly. So we'll have to eject this. Looking good. Excellent. Thank you for watching this video about me fixing Thank you for watching. Please can you like and subscribe and watch some more videos from the video playlist, which has some other types of video devices, VHS, Blu-ray and DVD recorders especially. Please can you like and subscribe, and I will make some more videos in the future. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now. Thank you for watching. Please can you like and subscribe and watch some more videos from the video playlist, which has some other types of video devices, VHS, Blu-ray and DVD recorders especially. Please can you like and subscribe, and I will make some more videos in the future. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.